We've been in Colorado for a little over a week now, really just enjoying our time here. The climate is so nice, it's beautiful, it's sunny, the skies are nice and blue. But after posting our tour, our announcement of getting a new camper, and all the other videos that have to do with our new truck camper setup, we've been getting a ton of questions, not only in the YouTube comment section, but also over on Instagram, because we announced it there as well. And there are a ton of questions that you guys are asking, and they're all great questions, but there are 3 common questions that we want to answer. And with answering these questions, it's going to be a little bit of a comparison of our old truck camper setup to our new one. And I'd have to say the most common question is going to be the one I'm going to answer first. And it's, why'd you get such a big truck? Why an F450? Let's start over here by our 2019 F250 and our 2017 New Camp Sears 820. This is our dream truck camper setup, but we did run into some problems with the truck. It wasn't mechanically, it wasn't with the powertrain, it wasn't with the motor, it wasn't with the transmission. There was actually no problem besides the fact that we are over the GVWR weight rating for this truck. So this truck's gross vehicle weight rating is 10,000 pounds, meaning we have about 2,800, 3,000 pounds of payload capacity. We did do a lot of modifications to this truck, such as added leaf springs in the rear, a completely different suspension setup, a bigger sway bar in the rear, as well as making sure our wheels and tires were rated, if not exceeded, the weight rating of the payload and the rear axle. And so while we were well within the rating of the components that we added to the truck in the truck itself, the door sticker tells us we were only allowed to weigh 10,000 pounds, and we did weigh 1,000 plus pounds more than that. So that is not to say the 2017 New Camp Sears 820 is not for 3/4 ton trucks, because it 100% is. I'd probably have it on this exact truck, this exact setup, over buying an F350 single rear wheel, because that price difference between this truck and that truck is around $10,000 to $11,000, and the modifications done to this truck equals the same, but since it's aftermarket, in my opinion, I think it's better quality than what's on there originally. And so I wouldn't stray away from this setup if you're thinking about camping in it, or if you're single with a dog. But since we were 2 people with 2 dogs, and we love spending our time in the snow, we love spending our time in the heat, we had so much gear and all that kind of stuff. But to compare it to our F450, there's a lot to really go into. So here we are in front of our 2019 F450, and while it has that same 6.7 liter V8 power stroke, it's actually detuned a little bit. And so it's got a lot of power, but it has a little bit less without a tuner, and I'm pretty sure they do that for like mileage, and then just because it's truly a workhorse. But with it being a workhorse, our payload capacity is 9,000 pounds. So we almost 3 times our payload from our F250 to our F450. And so that was one of the big reasons why we needed this truck over the F250. Yes, we could have gone to a normal dually. Yes, we could have gone to an F450 pickup bed, but there's some more details into that we'll get into in a second. But the GVWR weight rating on this F450 with the cab chassis is 16,500. So no, you don't need a commercial license, and it's actually higher than the F450 pickup bed. And then it also allows us to have a larger bed. So the cab's exactly the same, everything's almost the same. The main differences are the payload increase, the GVWR increase, and it's also got a wide track front axle, so it makes way better turns. I can make U-turns in spots where we're driving together that Ashley has to do like a 3-point turn in. And so there's a lot, those are like the main reasons as to why we went with this setup. We also like that it has a flatbed, but that gets us into our next question.
The second most common question we got is, what is up with all this space between the camper and the truck, as well as around near the flatbed? And the reason why we have so much space is because we actually have future plans to add a huge box here, and also boxes all along the flatbed. The exact sizes will be down here. We are in talks right now with a company to hopefully get this customized exactly for our truck and for our camper. Being that we are on the road full time and we have stuff for summer, winter, outdoor rec, all that kind of stuff, we just have a lot of stuff with us and we need room for it. So that's exactly what this is going to accomplish. We also do have a storage unit back in Las Vegas that has some of our stuff in it, and we're hoping to grab all that and not have to have anything anywhere else. When we'll have these boxes, we're not really sure yet. It takes a little bit of planning since they are custom and it takes a while to build them. So we'll keep you in the loop when we're going to get those boxes.
The third most commonly asked question is, why'd you guys upgrade to the same camper? Why not the 920? And so let me explain. Not only Does it work for the storage plans that we have that Ashley just went over, and the payload for the truck? We've actually walked in a 920. It's a beautiful camper. But for right now in our lives, we really love the 820 and how narrow it is. It allows us to get to some amazing spots. But on top of that, there are differences between the 2017 820 and the 2024 820. They might look the same, but let's start out with the obvious. This one's silver. That's about it. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot more to this new truck camper, such as these storage doors. They look completely different. It's a completely different design on this truck camper. It's got these nice handles that slide up to open them, whereas the other truck camper has like a normal inset cabinet door and it has a pull handle. We really like this design. It's super sleek looking, and just overall the camper looks super sleek. Another huge difference is the black tank capacity. On this new 2024 Sirius 820, the black tank capacity is 28 gallons, whereas in the 2017 Sirius 820, it's only 18. And while we're boondocking and going into towns and doing all that kind of stuff, we do our best to use the restroom in public areas, or public restrooms, I should say, not just in normal areas. That'd be crazy. But it still lasts us about 1.5 to 2 weeks, because we do that. We do our best to use the bathroom outside, or outside of the camper. Whereas with this new 28-gallon black tank, we should last a lot longer. We've been pretty proactive on dumping it, but I'm kind of wanting to test on how long we can last with that. Another thing that's super different is the Nautilus system. So when you're filling the truck camper with water, when you're winterizing the camper, when you're on fresh water hookup at the campground, it's completely different. There's this state-of-the-art Nautilus system that you can turn all the knobs and make it different configurations. It kind of shows you on the Nautilus system what configuration is for what. But our old camper didn't have that. It had right about here a fresh water fill up that you'd open, fill it up, and then it had the campground water right there. And then the Nautilus system was not a thing in our truck camper at all, but we love that it is on this one. A huge difference that we absolutely love is the new back door. We know New Camp started using this a while ago. It's on some of their tab teardrops and all that, but our 2017 Sirius 820 had a door that was super beautifully arched with a circle window in it, and now this one is still that beautiful arch, but it's got a small little window in there that's super nice and narrow. Actually has reflectix on the backside to keep that heat out, and then there are a few storage compartments built into the door, as well as a trash can, the fire extinguisher, and we just love the new door design. That's kind of the exterior upgrades and the differences. Ashley's gonna get you into the interior.
Now that we're in the camper, I figured what better place to start than in the bathroom. So the first thing we love that they did in here is put this Max Fan air vent in here. This is a really great brand, and the other camper has a fan in there, but it's kind of just a random brand and honestly doesn't work that well. But this one works really great. It pulls the air out and it has this beautiful light around it, so we love this whole fan situation going on here. The next thing we love is they actually put a medicine cabinet in here. So it opens up, obviously like a medicine cabinet. All of our stuff goes in there. We've driven down tons of roads and it's never opened up or done anything like that. So that's been really great. The next thing we love is the sink is actually to the side of the toilet, whereas in the other camper it was in the back, and it folded back and folded down, which made the toilet be pushed forward a little bit. So the whole bathroom kind of just felt a little bit smaller, whereas since the sink is on the side in this one, the toilet's pushed back, you just have a lot more room in here. So overall they did a really great job with this bathroom. And I love that it has this sliding door instead of an actual door that opens up, because with that door opening up it kind of takes up a lot of room. But we did store our shoes on the back of our other one, so we had to find out a different place to store our shoes in this camper, but we got that all figured out and I'm very happy with this bathroom setup. Moving into the kitchen is pretty similar to our 2017 Sirius, but there are a few differences. And the first thing, the biggest thing to me, is this sink is huge. I love it. In our other camper, it came with a smaller sink and we actually did replace it for a bigger sink, but this one still is bigger than our one that we replaced in there. So I love having a big sink. And the next thing is, if you've watched any of our videos, the microwave is up here in the other camper, but we've only ever really used it as storage. We didn't really use it as a microwave. But the microwave here is now down here and we don't have to store anything in it because this cabinet is so huge. Right across from our kitchen is our dinette area, and they did such a great job with this dinette. They actually raised it up and put storage underneath, so underneath both of the seats are huge storage compartments, and then underneath the storage, all the way down at the bottom, are our batteries and our inverter. And another thing they did in this camper was they put an air vent on the ceiling here, and it just pulls out the air when you're cooking, or brings the air in when you need the air in, and it's been such a great addition. And we love the colors in here. The light gray is just so airy and so nice, and it just makes this whole camper feel so much bigger, and it has such a clean feel to it. Now that we've gone over everything in the main living space and the bathroom area, we are up in the bedroom, and I'm going to go over a few key differences that we think are super important and are just a level up from our 2017 series. The first thing is the storage compartments on the sides are the same size, but they actually put a split in them. So now you can open up the cabinet without having to open up the whole thing, which is nice because Oreo likes to lay over there. Sometimes we have stuff on top, and it's just nice to not have to move every single thing off. We can just move over one or two things and be able to open up either side of the cabinets. The next thing is they added this huge TV here that's on a swivel and comes all the way out. Our other one also has the same type of TV, well, not the same type of TV, but how it swivels out like this, but it's built into the wall kind of, and it's a lot smaller, and this one's just a lot nicer, and we've already used it, and it's great. The other one we actually haven't even used before, but this one's been awesome. And another thing is that they did here is they added more lights, so there's lights on the side and on the back. I'll turn it on. It's daytime, so it's kind of hard to see, but they put them in here so they're all the way around and in the back, and it just adds so much light in here. And they also kept these lights over here, which are great for reading or just great if you want a little bit of light. We hope that we answered some of the main questions that we've been getting, and of course if you have any further questions, just drop them down below, or you can DM us on Instagram, and we'd love to answer any more of those questions. But we hope that you enjoyed learning more about this setup and why we upgraded to this setup. And if you're interested in a full tour of either this camper or our old one, definitely be sure to check out our playlist below, because we have not only these two campers a tour, but we also have tours of some of our older campers, being that this is our 6th camper that we are in. But if you did enjoy this video, we really appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell to be notified when we post next, and we'll see you in the next video.